Welcome to the Denham-Blythe Company Project Safety Orientation. At Denham-Blythe Company, safety is our greatest value. We are committed to providing the safest work environment for employees, fellow contractors, vendors, and client personnel at every project site. The goal of our safety program is to provide the safest and most professional experience for everyone involved with a Denham-Blythe project. During this orientation, we will cover daily safety expectations, how to identify and control hazards, incident management, task-specific safety procedures, and project safety audits. Daily safety expectations. Safety starts with pre-planning, assessing all risk associated with each task, and communicating safety controls that will minimize exposure to these risks. Before beginning work, all new contractors must complete Denham-Blythe safety orientation. All personnel on the project must wear proper personal protective equipment, including but not limited to a hard hat, safety-toed boots, safety glasses, and a high-visibility shirt or vest. Certain sites may also require gloves and hearing protection. Certain tasks may require additional equipment, such as fall protection, knee pads, or Kevlar sleeves. It is essential to start each day with a kickoff meeting to address the scope of work and safety controls for each task. Identify and review all work activities along with a job hazard analysis. All high-risk work activities must be reviewed with a detailed site-specific plan. Inspections must be performed by the competent person identified by each trade. Ensure required documentation is in order prior to beginning work. All work requiring a training certification must have it readily available at all times. The following project documentation is required on every Denham-Blythe project and will be audited. Project sign-in sheets, safety data sheets for all chemicals brought, used on site, equipment inspections prior to use, permits and certifications required for equipment operation, site-specific orientation, identified competent person on site, company safety manuals for all trades, and job hazard analysis, which is used to identify risks associated with each task and establish controls to mitigate exposure to these risks. The JHA must be written and approved every day prior to work during the daily kickoff meeting. Our daily expectations conclude with these general safety requirements that are enforced at all Denham-Blythe projects. Report all incidents, regardless of severity, to the Denham-Blythe Site Superintendent immediately. Follow all project safety requirements. Obey all warnings, danger signs, and speed limits. Use all available resources. Smoking is not permitted on project grounds, only in designated areas if the project allows. Smoking restrictions are project-driven. Check with the project superintendent for instructions. Alcohol and drugs are not permitted on Denham-Blythe projects. Firearms or weapons are not permitted. Only authorized individuals are permitted to take project photos. Under no circumstances are photos allowed to be taken and posted to social media and/or utilized for marketing purposes, unless specifically approved by Denham-Blythe and the project site owner. Violation of this will result in dismissal from the project, termination of employment, and/or prosecution. Cell phone use on site is limited to managers only. All other individuals are only permitted to use their cell phones in safe areas of the project free from hazards. Identifying and controlling hazards. Hazards are any practice, behavior, or physical condition that can cause injury, harm, illness, damage to property or environment, or loss to process. There are 4 common types of hazards: physical, slips, trips, falls, exposure to loud noise, working from heights, vibrations, and unguarded machinery. Ergonomic, place strain on worker's body. Poor lighting, repetitive motion, awkward movements, and poor posture. Chemical, exposure to cleaning solutions, vapors, fumes, carbon monoxide, and gases. Biological, exposure to blood or bodily fluids, animals, insect bites, bacteria, and viruses. There are several ways that you can control hazards. The most effective being to eliminate it completely or replace it with something that does not produce a hazard. However, that is not always possible. If the hazard cannot be removed or replaced, engineered controls can be set up to isolate the hazard from people. Barrier tape can be used to bring awareness to an active and potentially dangerous construction activity in an area with yellow caution tape, or deny access of dangerous areas with red danger tape. If red danger tape is used, it must contain signage of ownership and contact. Additionally, administration controls can be put in place to prevent exposure by changing the way people work. The last control is to use personal protective equipment, or PPE, which is required on all Denham-Blythe projects. The biggest threat to worker health and safety is the work environment. It is important to be aware of your surroundings and take precautions to protect yourself and others. Incident management. Make sure you are familiar with the site evacuation plan in case of an emergency or fire. Shut down equipment, clear the area, communicate to others, and follow the nearest safe exit route to the designated assembly area. Only attempt to extinguish a fire if it is small, and ensure proper hot work procedures are followed. If an incident occurs, regardless of the severity, report it to the on-site superintendent immediately after the worker and environment has been stabilized. Incident management is critical in order to minimize the impact to the injured individual or environment. Task-specific safety procedures. There are certain tasks that require additional documentation or procedures in order to maintain a safe work environment at our project. Some of these tasks include excavation, confined spaces, steel erection, scaffolding, equipment operation, and lockout/tagout. Specific safety instructions for these tasks can be found in the Denham-Blythe Safety Manual, as well as site-specific requirements that will be available through the site superintendent. OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, sets and enforces standards regarding fall protection and excavation cave-in protection. These are zero-tolerance activities. The height at which fall protection is required depends on the industry and can be client-specific. If the project category falls under construction, fall protection is required at 6 feet when exposed to a leading edge. If the project is considered a general industry project, fall protection is required at 4 feet. Communicate with the site superintendent to identify what the project-specific requirements are for using fall protection. Additionally, there are several factors and requirements for cave-in protection systems that need to be reviewed and addressed by the competent person prior to trench and excavation work. 4 feet in depth requires access and egress laterally every 25 feet. 5 feet in depth requires a protective system to protect against cave-ins. Safety audits. Our project must be in compliance and able to pass any audit or inspection at any time during the construction process. The on-site superintendent will conduct written project inspections weekly, identifying any non-compliant issues and corrective actions. A Denham-Blythe safety officer also shall perform weekly safety audits. Violations will be assessed to any and all contractors who do not comply with any federal, state, local, as well as project-specific regulations. Inspections must be performed throughout the day by a competent person appointed by the company performing the work. Contractors are required to be in compliance and correct any non-compliant issues while on site. This includes having all required documentation on hand, managing injuries, obeying traffic and parking directions, securing materials, housekeeping during and after work is performed, and maintaining company professionalism. All policies are subject to client and project-specific regulations while working within the client's facility or grounds. Please join Denham-Blythe in creating a safe work environment at this project. We are committed to establishing a positive culture throughout every project, from start to finish.